Hey everyone, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 things people who've made the move from British Columbia hate about Airdrie and Alberta. And if you missed our top 5 things that people from BC love about Airdrie, we posted that video last week, so go and check it out after this one. And please go hit that like button for me, because we're going to be talking about some of the bad things about living here. So our real estate business is probably going to need all the help it can get, and while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Alright, well, we've seen our fair share of people move here to Airdrie from BC over the past year or two, and now that many have been here for a while, I wanted to find out what they didn't like about living here. I spoke to some past clients of mine, as well as took to some online groups to find out, and these were the most common responses I received. Number 1 on our list, and one that I was expecting, was people don't like the freezing cold weather that we can get here in the winter. It can get cold here, -30, even -40 cold, so you want to make sure that you're prepared for that cold weather when it does come. Thankfully, around Calgary and Airdrie here, we do get Chinooks, which helps warm things up and give some breaks in the cold weather through the winter though. Usually each year we get 1 or 2 really cold spells where it'll be -30 for a week or so before moving towards some more typical winter temperatures of 0 to -10-ish. But last year our cold snap actually lasted about 3 weeks long though, and it was -30 for the entire time, which definitely wasn't a lot of fun. The second thing that people don't like about Airdrie and Alberta in general is not having as many lakes and greenery around. In BC, there's tons of lakes around, usually a short drive from home, and often with swimmable water that's reasonably warm. And though there are lakes around Alberta, you might have a longer drive to get to them, and they'll typically be a bit colder for swimming. That being said, there is always options that put you close to a lake here if that's something that's important to you. The lake city of Chestermere may be a good option for you, or possibly one of the many lake communities right in Calgary with lakes in the community to fish and swim at and things like that. Unfortunately for Airdrie, we don't have any lake communities, so there isn't really any good swimmable lakes or water around us right here in Airdrie. The number 3 thing that people don't like here in Airdrie is not having great public transit option to the bigger city. In the greater Vancouver area especially, you have options like the SkyTrain that goes to many of the neighboring cities. In Calgary there is the C-Train, but that stays within Calgary. We don't have anything like that that connects Airdrie to the bigger city. There is the Airdrie Ice bus system that goes to downtown Calgary, and of course you have taxis or Uber, but there's no big train system connecting us to Calgary, and that Airdrie Ice bus system only goes to downtown Calgary. Of course, one of the reasons we don't have that here is because traffic isn't nearly as bad as it is there in the GVA. So it's not as important to have city to city public transit here, but nonetheless, it's something that people are missing having access to. Number 4 on our list is that people from BC miss the soft water there. This was mentioned from past clients of mine in both Calgary and Airdrie, and others as well. They said that they're having a hard time adjusting to the hard water that we have here compared to what they're used to in BC. Many of us here in Alberta have no problem drinking the tap water here and using it for everything in general, but compared to BC water, people think it doesn't taste quite as good. Of course, the obvious solution to this is to get a water softener in your home. So if you're someone that likes the BC water and doesn't like the hard water, it may be something for you to consider installing in your new home here. Which brings us to number 5 on our list, which is our snow plowing system. Again, I heard this from people in both Calgary and Airdrie. Now, they've said they've been less than impressed with our plowing system here in Alberta so far, feeling like more plowing could be done. And this is true, more plowing can always be done after it snows, but I think we just simply get more snow than many places in BC, and therefore it becomes the priority to stick to the main highways and roads, and the residential streets don't get plowed as often. The best thing you can do here is to get yourself a good set of winter tires and prepare to drive in the snow, because you're definitely going to have to at some point. Well, that does it for our 5 things that people who've moved from British Columbia don't like about Airdrie and Alberta. If you didn't catch our last video about the 5 things that people from BC love about Airdrie and Alberta, be sure to go back and watch that now, and also comment below anything that you like or don't like about Airdrie, and we'll see you in the next video.